Hey everyone, welcome to this webinar where we're going to be talking about some marketing strategies for Christmas. Now, I know we're just a few days away, but I thought it would be great to share this. We've done a few of these webinars, and so we decided to record one and just make it public for anyone that may be looking for a little help to both have a great Christmas Eve experience as well as get some people in the door to share this with. So I'm going to share that with you today. Quickly, my name is Brad. I planted SoCo Church in Bentonville, Arkansas in 2018. And prior to ministry, I was the director of marketing for a software startup for about 10 plus years. And God has just allowed me to take some of those strategies and lessons that I learned over those 10 or 11 years and bring them into the church. And so at SoCo, we have seen God do amazing things, and we've grown quite rapidly as a new church. And I'd love to help you today as well with just some things we've learned across the last few years, even in the pandemic, in this season that we're in now. And hopefully it'll help you. So let's talk about some marketing strategies. Now, before we do that, I also want to share with you just a few things. First of all, why Christmas? Why is this an important time? Well, we know pre-COVID, the data told us that your Christmas attendance could grow from 40 to 60%. Now, that number may not be quite that high now. In some cases, it may be higher, in some cases lower. But what we do know is Christmas season is a time where you are going to have growth in your church. So many of your church members, they're going to have family in town. That's important because they're going to want a great experience for their family. And having that great Christmas Eve service for them to invite all their friends and family. There's going to be people in their family that don't go to church. There's going to be people in the family that are going to experience Jesus for maybe the first time. And that's really important, obviously. Your church members are way more likely to invite someone to your Christmas Eve service. So we'll talk about resourcing them in a minute. But if that's the case, we want to make sure we give them everything they need to help get the word out. And what about that person who's been thinking of trying a church or maybe even trying your church? This is a time where they might actually finally come. They've been thinking about it, or they've been looking for a church for a while. And if you can get the word out, there's a good chance they might finally come through the doors at your church. And why Christmas? Well, it's the greatest time of the year. So we want to make it an incredible experience. Let's talk about planning a Christmas service. And I know this is marketing strategies, but we never want to help you market a bad product, and not that your church is a bad church, but I want to help you with some very simple principles to help this Christmas Eve. First of all, keep it simple, but keep it memorable. It's easy to watch some mega churches that have these unbelievable productions and think, wow, we're going to have to really work hard to compete with them. Don't compete. Keep it simple, but make it memorable. More to come on that in a minute. Make it an event rather than just a service. People are used to coming to your Sunday service. Make this feel different. Make this look a little different as well. And we'll talk about how you can do that. Offer multiple event times. Give people choices. People are coming and going, and they have Christmas traditions and family in town, and some are leaving town. So for us, we do 2 normal Sunday mornings. For Christmas Eve on the 23rd, we'll do 2 service times. On the 24th, we'll do 3. So 5 total Christmas Eve services that people can come experience that event. If we weren't portable, I'll tell you, the Sunday before Christmas, I would actually not do Sunday morning, and we would start our Christmas Eve that night and then take a break until the 23rd. Why? Because I would be able to hit a lot of those people that are going to be going out of town for Christmas. But since we're portable, just doesn't work for us. But maybe that's an idea for you. Make it a community event rather than just a church event. I know it's easy to think, okay, this is our chance to grow and to get more people. And definitely we want to do that. But the way you can do that better is not make it so branded about your church. Make it something that's community event related. I'm telling you, if we did, for instance, we have this really popular thing downtown here in our small community called the Lighting of the Square. It's a community event, and so thousands of people come. The day that it gets turned into something like the SoCo Church Lighting of the Square, I'm instantly eliminating people from coming to be a part of that. So In the same way, it's still a church event. I get that, but maybe think about how can I market this as an event, a community event, rather than just a church event. Give your people the resources to spread the word. So some kind of easy invite card. Give them graphics that they can share on their social media. Preach an evangelistic sermon a few weeks before this Christmas Eve to remind people of our purpose and our calling is to reach those that are far from God. And then think of some ways you can do something to give back to your community and show the heart of your church, right? We're trying to break this stereotype that churches are all about money and all about us. And so what's something you can do to show that you're giving back? Here's a couple of examples of that. We do Christmas meals. We give away Christmas groceries in a drive-through line and pray for every car every year. We're going to video that, and then we're going to have that video available to show on that Christmas Eve to let people see their generosity and how it's at work. A few years ago, there was an amazing family in our church that they were just struggling and had so many bad luck things happen in their life. We decided to give them a new car. A new car. It was a used car, but it was a very nice car. We had it checked, the mechanics checked on it and everything. And we invited the couple in and said, hey, we want to interview you guys about just why do you serve at SoCo? We asked a few questions, and then we kind of segued into taking them outside. And there was this nice little minivan with a red bow on it. And they, of course, were crying. And it was just a special moment. And we captured all that and shared that on that Sunday, obviously getting their permission. And it just really cultivated more generosity in the church. So what's something you can do to show that you're giving back and showing the heart of your church? And then are you thinking about how you're going to gather information for next steps? You've got new people coming in. What's the plan to get that information so that we make sure we stay connected and help them take those next steps? Okay. We talked about making it simple but memorable. What can we do on that? Well, here's a few just examples of things we've done in the past. This is our invite card from a few years ago, and we are in a venue called Record. So we decided to theme it Christmas at Record, and there's the vinyl record. So that was kind of our creativity on that. Here's the back of the card. Instead of just a typical invite card, it gave information on how we were giving back. So we had people bring Legos and Arkansas Razorback gifts, Go Hogs, and gift cards, and all of that was donated to the children's shelter here in town. So it made it more of a community event than just a SoCo event. We also have a yearly Christmas ornament that we sell at cost. I mean, they're $3 or $4. But here's what happens. People take that, we instruct them, hey, get a photo on your tree of this, share it on social media. Creates this just organic reach for us because we're having people buy a Christmas ornament. And so every year we have a new one and people love getting those on the tree. How else can we keep it simple but memorable? Get a Santa Claus and a Miss Claus if you can, and give people an opportunity for a photo with their family. And then get these photos and put it on a Facebook photo album and let people tag themselves and share the photos and just get an incredible organic reach through simply taking photos and making those memories for families. We do an exclusive merch item each Christmas. And for us, all of our proceeds to our merch goes to missions. So our whole phrase is look good while doing good. And so this is just, it makes it special. It's just a small thing to make it feel different. Instead of just coffee, we do these Christmas cookies. I think we get them from Sam's Club. They're not very expensive, but it's different. People love it. The kids love it. And it's just a memorable time. We are, again, portable, so we're limited in what we can do, but we hang a few Christmas lights. We do a candle celebration that is so awesome every year. We sing Silent Night to close out the night, and it's really special. It's worth it to us to have to scrape wax off the chairs and the floor for the next 6 months. But this is a really cool moment that we love celebrating with our church family. We also bought these little LED stars a couple years ago and hung them throughout the building. And you can see this bottom right photo. It's the tip top of one of the Christmas trees that we basically cut them out of plywood and painted them white and put one of those stars on it. Plywood is much more expensive now, but still a pretty inexpensive way to go to just make it feel different. These were outside, so as people were arriving, there's already a different feel in the building, in the room, and outside of the building. Very simple, but we had a guy that was in a drum line, so we put some Christmas lights on his snare and put a battery pack on it and did Little Drummer Boy. And we normally don't have a choir. We had a choir. And then we love to do a sing along. So we'll have a couple of our vocalists with a keyboard player, and we'll sing just the chorus or parts of a bunch of different Christmas songs that people know, put the words on the screen and ask everyone to sing along with us. And it's really a special moment. So there's just a few ideas for you. I'm sure you have plenty of them, but just want to help you see that you can keep it simple but memorable. Now let's talk about some marketing strategies for Christmas. So first of all, if you're doing anything to direct people, don't just send them to your homepage. Have a strong landing page and possibly a domain just for Christmas. We had christmas@record.com that a couple of years ago. Why? Because again, we're trying to make it feel like a community event, not just a church event. This year, it'll just simply be soco.church/Christmas. Why? Because I don't want to take them to a page where they have to look and scroll and find information. I want everything they need to know right there on that landing page. So try to think through the lens of a first-time visitor coming to your Christmas Eve service. What do they need to know? What can they expect? They need the information, the service times, how they should dress. Do they need to bring anything? What are you doing with kids? So you could put a video on there of some B-roll of previous Christmas services. You could show some photos and have an opportunity for them to plan their visit. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Start thinking digital ads right now. So Thanksgiving's over. Right now, people are thinking Christmas. They're planning. My family this week, we just started planning what day we're getting together and what it's going to look like. So people are planning. So get this in front of them soon. Create a Facebook event, but don't just use a photo as the cover. Instead, create a video of your pastors talking about Christmas Eve services. Have B-roll of previous years and make it short but sweet and something that can build some excitement. And also people start sharing that and getting the word out and inviting their friends to RSVP. Build out some very simple Facebook and Instagram ads, and you can use your iPhone for video content. It doesn't have to be over the top professional. It's okay if it feels a little raw and a little rough. I think that is actually a big deal right now. So create some very simple ads that are the pastors inviting people. And we'll share more on that in just a minute. Set up an audience. So if you're creating digital ads, set up an audience that's going to bring you the best results. Don't just set up a 5-10 mile radius and say, okay, everyone. No, you're inviting a lot of trolls in and you're not getting a great return on your investment. You need to be speaking to people that are already looking for this. Someone who is really far from God, anti-church, atheist, agnostic, fill in the blank, probably are very rarely going to see an ad for a Christmas Eve service and say, all right, let's do this. Let's go. So instead, let's get the best return on investment. So let's create an audience where we're reaching people that already speak this language. And that's Christians. It's people that maybe aren't even involved in church, but they understand Christianity. They believe in Jesus. They want to celebrate something like this. And then use your people in your church to go out and reach through relationship equity those that maybe are far from God. That's the best strategy, using these ads to reach, again, the people that are already looking for something like this. And then think out of the box when it comes to your digital ads. Show that you can have some fun. Also show that you are here for the community. So here's a couple examples. You could have your pastor or someone on the team create an ad using your phone that just says something like this. Hey, everyone, help me settle a debate here. People in our office are saying that all these different movies are the greatest Christmas movie of all time. I think it's Elf. I think that's the best Christmas movie ever. What do you think's the greatest Christmas movie? Would you comment below and let us know and help me settle this debate once and for all? Something like that. And then you could also, at the bottom of the ad, have a link to your Christmas Eve service. Someone sees that, sees you're having fun, sees that you're not, what they may think the church is. And now it's creating some very good traffic for you just because people are having a good time. Also, maybe you want to think about how you can serve your community. You can create an ad of your leaders, pastors, whoever it may be, saying something like, hey, while Christmas is such a big, big part of the year, I know it's not always the best time for everyone. Some of you are dealing with some stress or anxiety or pain. Maybe you lost someone during the Christmas season. Whatever's going on in your life, we would love to pray for you. Would you click the message button below and let us know how we can privately be praying over you this holiday season? What are you doing? You're creating an opportunity for a one-to-one conversation where you can serve people at a way greater rate than just an ad that has your Christmas Eve service times and where you're going. No, let's do something that feels way more real and way more authentic than just the typical ads, right? People see ads all day long, hundreds of them. Create something that stands out, create something that feels more real. So think out of the box when it comes to those ads. All right, so Christmas services equal a lot of guests. We know that. Pre-COVID, this is the question we'd often ask: what's your guest follow-up process? After COVID, and during, depending on what you think, the question now is, what's your pre-visit process? And here's what I mean. What would you do differently if you could get the Connect card before they even arrive at your church? Think of it this way. You've had that guest show up to your house unannounced. You're not prepared. Versus the person that says, hey, in a few weeks, let's coordinate. We want to come see you guys. Now I can get the house ready. I can threaten the kids about their behavior. I can get the groceries. I can get everything prepared for their arrival versus them showing up unannounced and me saying goodbye to them wondering, I wonder how it went. Now, you're probably getting Connect cards as it is right now, but you're getting it on the way out. What if you could get it before they arrive to help you better curate the visit? Now, if you'll give me just a couple of minutes, hopefully this has been helpful. I want to show you something that has been so helpful to me and to our church, and I believe it's going to be helpful for you. In fact, it's been so helpful that we took the time and the money to create a service that's going to help you get the pre-visit process set up, because you could start getting the Connect cards before they actually even arrive. So take a look at this. So this is what we call Visit Planner. It's a very simple widget that goes on your website, and no matter what page they go to, it's available for them to plan a visit. And I just want to show it to you quickly, the back end of this system. So here it is. When you log in, you're going to see all the contacts that have recently scheduled a visit. Now, for us at SoCo, we see about 3 plan your visits a week on a normal weekend. Christmas Eve, that will probably go up into the 15 to 20 people that will let me know before they even arrive who they are, when they're coming, where they're coming to. So if you're multi-campus, multi-service, whatever, there's an opportunity here for you. And just to show you quickly, here is our website, and here is the widget right here on it. And no matter where I go, no matter what page I click on, there is going to be this widget where I can quickly plan my visit. What does that mean to quickly plan a visit? Well, it means I'm not asking a ton of information on one page, but just a couple of pages, and I'm getting some very basic information. I'm getting their email, I'm getting their phone number. If I want to, you can make that optional. And with that, I can now also quickly select my campus and my service time. And now I'm ready to plan my visit. Now, the beautiful thing about that is now that you have their information, there's so much more you can do. For instance, our system has built-in communication. It's automated. So on the front end, they're going to get a text message right after they plan their visit saying, thank you so much for planning your visit. We can't wait to see you at the service time. And the cool thing is you can customize all this. You can set this up to say whatever you want it to say and send it whenever you want to send it. On top of that, we're also going to send them an email. And in this email, it's going to give them all the information that they need to know. For instance, is there a dress code? What do I do if I have kids? Where do I go when I arrive? What are we doing? We're breaking down any barrier that would prevent them from showing up. And then finally, we're going to send a text for us right before 2 hours before the arrival, reminding them, hey, we can't wait to see you and where they need to go. Come see us at our welcome tent. Now, check this out. Because we know they're coming, we've got a handwritten card with their name written on the envelope sitting at the welcome tent, waiting for them with a gift. That's us creating the first impression and being able to curate the visit. We also help them go check their kids in if they have them. We help them find the perfect seat. And we're also going to invite them to some people if they're open to that. We have some people that are very introverted. They want to check it out, but they're nervous. We're good with that. We'll find out their comfort level and seat them accordingly so that they feel very comfortable. Let me tell you something. People love this. People go on and on about how awesome their experience was when they come to SoCo. Now, the widget is very simple. It's completely customizable, and you can add it to any website. So there's all things you can do. You can have a recent calendar that shows how many people have used this. You can change the text. You can change the color. You can make it a dark theme, or you can do a light theme. You can show a countdown to the next service, for instance, what you saw on our website, and you can change that text as well. You also can have an explainer text if there's something you want to say. For instance, hey, Christmas Eve services start December 22nd, just to give people a heads up. And then you can have one-off services that they can go plan their visit to. And then you can also, you can require the number if you do want to send the text messages out. We think it's valuable to do that, so we do it. Now, final thing I'll show you is after they plan their visit, they get a customized pop-up that tells them, thanks, and you can, for us, we've saved you a seat. Thanks for planning your visit. You can also embed a cool URL of a YouTube video here. So I would recommend having your pastors say, thank you so much for planning your visit. We wanted to just give you a quick walkthrough of what you can expect, and then have B-roll showing the building, the kids area, the seating, and just help take off some of that fear that people have. You and I have been in church so long, we have forgotten what it's like to visit a church, but it's a little bit scary. And then finally, depending on what system you have in place, now that we've got that information, we can give them another option. We don't want to give all the options up front and drive them away. But now that they've planned their visit, if you have a church management system where they can check in their kids or register their kids right now, you could put that here and put the link to that button. Or maybe you want to tell them about your Christmas Eve services and they can go RSVP, or whatever that next step may be, you can put that here, and you can obviously go customize that all you want. We have integrations right now with MailChimp. So this is what's cool about that. We send a weekly newsletter every week to our church. Well, if you plan a visit, you automatically get put in that database. So you're getting touch points week after week, even after your visit, even if you didn't show up. On top of that, with Planning Center, it integrates into your workflows. So we have a workflow in place for that first-time guest. If they did arrive, if they did show up, now my volunteers take over the next steps on how they're going to follow up. It's a text message, it's a video that we send to them, a text video, it's a letter, and so on. And you can customize how you do that depending on what you have. And by the way, more functionality, more integrations are coming. Again, it's very easy to install. You can set up multiple campuses. You can set up multiple services. You can set up one-off services. And then finally, on communication, you also, after their visit, you can also automate more communication. If they reschedule, you can automate it. And then finally, whoever your admin is, you want to put their information in so they're getting updates that, hey, someone planned a visit, so that they can start the process. So very simple walkthrough. There's so much more to it I could share, but this has been instrumental for us. We've seen over 1,000 people plan their visit in the last couple of years, and it has been such a remarkable tool for us, and we would love to help you use it. If you want to go to the website, it's just visitplanner.church. All the information is there. Quickly, I'll show you the pricing. It's simply $49 a month, or $500, $499, excuse me, for the year. And don't forget, the average church member gives $800 a year. One person, if we can help you, one person, get one more person in your church, and it will, it's paid for times two. So I hope you'll check this out. And I also leave you with this. We understand that something like this is very helpful, but if you don't have any web traffic, it's not going to help. So a couple of things we do. First of all, we're going to give you a free website evaluation. And we're also going to give you all kinds of training videos to help you with SEO, the right language to use on your website, how to have a better digital ad strategy. We want to help you get the right traffic on your website so people will actually start using this. And we truly believe it will happen. Thanks for giving me a few minutes to help with that. So excited about your Christmas Eve services. Let me know if this has been helpful. Send us a message, send an email, and we're so grateful for you. And we'll talk to you at the next webinar.